Well, hello, Tamara. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Erika. It's a thrill to be here.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you. I feel like I've known you for a while now. It's been a couple years. And as the listeners and viewers of this show know, or if you've been listening for a while, that every now and then I love to bring on my students of my one-on-one coaching and my boot camp onto the show to have them share their journeys with that. And you are one of those people. You're definitely part of the boot camp and coaching family. And
I'm a permanent member.
you are. I know. I love you so much. It's just was such a joy to kind of get to know you even better. And I'm excited for the audience here to get to know you better and fall in love with you just as I have. So can you share with our listeners and viewers a little bit about you and your YouTube channel?
Well, I have a YouTube channel, Tamara's Timeless Beauty. I started it 3 years ago. Yesterday was the 3-year anniversary of my first upload. And like many other people, I had thought about doing it for quite a long time. I fell in love with the mature YouTube beauty community probably 7 years ago and thought, oh, this would be fun. I did a little research, cameras, equipment, and it was just something I wanted to do and didn't do for a very long time. As I approached my 60th birthday, and as I approached a new decade, 2020, I thought, it is now or never. So I finally just put my camera up on a stack of books, hit play, uploaded it from my phone, said I'm going to do a video once a week. That was 3 years ago yesterday, and here we are today. I mean, it was learn as you go, and it has been such an incredible journey.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Starting a YouTube channel at 60, and at the time you were still working, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. With YouTube, when I started it, I really had no idea the potential of YouTube at all. I thought of it as a fun thing to do. And I had seen some really older women in their 60s and 70s. And I thought, well, this would be a great thing to start so that I can have it when I retire, not only to fill my time, but potential, supplement my retirement income. I thought maybe I'd have a few thousand subscribers and maybe I'd have a couple extra $100 a month. I really did not understand the potential of YouTube in terms of subscribers, views, and income. And while it did enable me to retire early from my full-time job, which I did 1 year ago, pretty much 1 year ago anniversary. And now YouTube is not my full-time job because I don't do 2 videos a week still, but it has enabled me to retire.
That's amazing. How cool is that? Would you, if somebody would have told you that like 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, you'd be
Never.
like, what?
Not even close to being on my radar. I was concerned about retirement because, I am single and I had been a single mother and, I don't have quite enough to live on for the rest of my life. And I thought I'm going to be working until I'm, 80. And on top of sort of simplifying my life, I have a tiny house. So simplifying my life and my expenses, I was able to utilize YouTube to transition me into retirement much sooner than I had anticipated.
That's amazing. That's so cool. That's like the power of YouTube. That's why I'm so passionate about it, because it truly changes people's lives and, especially, women in so many different scenarios. Like for you, being a single mom and now being at retirement age, how it's transformed your life in a way and the rest of your life.
In every way, in so many positive ways, not just, from a job and financial perspective, but I have so many friends now on YouTube and the boot camp, which I still am an active member of and I absolutely love. So it's been really quite a journey that I could have never in a million years have anticipated.
That's so cool. And like you weren't working in like the beauty space or anything, because your channel's about beauty. You weren't like, that's not like, you're like, oh, this is a natural transition. I was like a makeup artist for years. It's like you're in a totally different industry.
Right. I was in healthcare. I have always had an interest in health and wellness, nutrition, skincare has been and still is a huge passion of mine. And through YouTube, I discovered a love for makeup. And the thing is, in my own personal life, I really didn't have anyone to talk to about these things, skincare, makeup. So YouTube was my happy place even before I started the channel. I was commenting on everybody's channels and felt like I got to know them. And so that's what I really wanted to bring to my channel. And that's one of my favorite things about my channel is the community and the interaction and, you know, just being able to share ideas back and forth.
That's so cool. So you started your channel January of 2020. Now you're 3 years anniversary. So congrats. That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
And then you joined, so you were on your own, doing your own thing for about a year. And then you somehow found me and then you decided to enroll in the boot camp. At the time, like a year later into your channel, where were you at with your channel?
At my 1 year.
And what was kind of the motivating factor for you to join the boot camp at the time? Like what did you feel you were looking for when joining?
You know, with YouTube, it was learn as you go. And the more you learn, the more you know you don't know. For the first 6 months of my channel, I did not even know how to create a thumbnail. I had no thumbnail. It was just a screenshot.
Oh, I don't know if I don't know if I knew that because by the time you joined, you were doing thumbnails. Okay.
Yeah, so I then taught myself how to do thumbnails. So a year into it, I had really surpassed my own expectations. I think I had 11,000 subscribers at 1 year. But I felt, you know, I had a couple of YouTube friends who were small channels like mine, and we would chat and try to help each other. But it was like the blind leading the blind. And I stumbled across the boot camp. Angelica Nyquist.
Oh yeah,
was talking about it, and she was a big channel, and she had taken the boot camp, and she talked about it. And then Jen Loves talked about it, and I adore Jen Loves.
I love Jen.
And I thought, well, if these people find value in it, explored your YouTube channel, I thought, this is what I need. I just need this information, support, community, and I joined, and I just found it so inspirational and motivational and educational. I mean, I loved every single minute of it.
Oh, good. Well, good. And so where was it mainly that because you were feeling like almost like there was something missing, like you like said the blind leading the blind, or like the more you learn, the more you know that what you don't know. Was there just something you were seeking or needing help with?
I needed strategy. I needed to understand. I was really just throwing it against the wall, right? And seeing what would stick. And I did, you know, get some success with that. I did have my third video that I ever posted sort of went viral, and I wasn't ready for it. I didn't have the content to back it up. So what I was really looking for is understanding how to plan content and understanding why did this video get views and this video didn't. I really didn't understand that. And just having a place to go to ask questions. That was really one of the biggest things.
Yeah, definitely. And you were in the boot camp, you were very active. You still are, you know, going on to the calls. And I always say that with the boot camp specifically, you know, it's a group coaching program. That's really what it is. Yes, there's a course involved and all that, but really the real value of it is that you get access to me and the community, and you get feedback directly from me with whatever questions you have about YouTube. But if you don't come on to the calls, you can actually submit, you know this, you can submit questions without even coming onto a call, and I'll still answer them. Like if you're not present in the Facebook group, you're not coming out of the calls, like, you know.
And I was a little bit shy on the calls. I attended all of them, and I binged. The other thing is with the boot camp, we have 2 or 3 years, several years worth of calls to watch. And I always learned so much from other people's questions and from their answers. So at first in the boot camp, I was a little shy on the calls, but then I started asking questions, and I still love the calls. I mean, it's been 2 years. I don't make every single one, but I the calls are super, super helpful. The coursework was also great. You know, understanding the true fan, the mission statement, and just step by step on a weekly basis. I think I started the boot camp at the perfect time. I already had some content in place that I could go back and analyze. And I was ready for that sort of next level of information, strategy, planning, understanding, you know, the root cause of why a video was popular and why a video wasn't popular. So, yeah.
Yeah. And then how were you feeling about your channel at that time when you joined the boot camp?
You know, like I said earlier, the boot camp was very inspirational. It sort of got me even more excited about my channel. And right away, I started to have a couple of videos that did a little bit better than previously. One was just a simple get ready with me with using drugstore makeup, and that hit like 60,000 views, which I hadn't had other than my Retin-A video on my first year, and instructional videos. So I got a little bit more into instructional videos than I had been previously.
Okay, got it. And then what made you then decide to enroll in the one-on-one coaching after going through the boot camp for a while?
I was not ready to let go of you. And I really wanted the one-to-one attention. I mean, I saw what the boot camp did for me. What is it, a 90-day program?
The boot camp is actually 6 months.
Okay, well, that makes more sense
Yeah.
because I started the boot camp in January, and I think we started the one-to-one coaching is 90 days.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been a couple of years.
Yeah.
So the boot camp was 6 months, and I wasn't ready to let go. And I thought, well, I need more. I need more personal attention. I had already seen some really nice growth in that 6 months. And I just signed up right away. I'm like, let's do this.
Was there anything at that point that you were struggling with your channel, either right before joining the boot camp or even prior to joining the coaching?
I continued to, and I still do to this day, you know, thumbnails, not my favorite thing. And, you know, with the boot camp, you can submit a thumbnail on the Facebook page and get feedback, which is always helpful. But I think that working with you one-to-one, not only did we very, very strategically plan out my content, but you were on me with thumbnails and you really helped me with titles. And I really needed that sort of personalized attention on my specific content.
I remember thumbnails.
I know.
being a struggle with you. I remember you were like, oh, you would throw up a thumbnail. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What? And you're like, I hate doing thumbnails. I'm like, well, you got to learn to love them because it's like, or hiring it out. Have somebody else do it because thumbnails is such a vital part of YouTube. You could do so much with your videos, but if your thumbnails just aren't, and you know, what's interesting with YouTube is that I do find that styles and things tend to kind of evolve over time. So it's not one of those things. I think some people think like, oh, I'll figure out my thumbnail style and I'm like, stay with it. It's like, no, you've got to like, okay, figure out what works. And then if it doesn't start to work, you've got to like evolve and change.
Yeah, I've definitely gone through different phases with my thumbnails. And, you know, like you said, I'm going to continue to evolve and change. But it's really important. And I definitely pay more attention to them. I definitely learned a lot from you. In fact, some of the thumbnails and titles that you helped me with during the 90-day one-to-one coaching are, well, one of them is my most popular video to this day. The Botox video totally went viral. And that was thumbnail and title that you and I
love
worked
that
on together.
I know we went back and forth a lot. I love that thumbnail, how it turned out.
Yeah.
Even though I was critical of the video itself, remember?
Right, because that's the other thing is I'm still learning editing and B-roll, and you know, I'm getting better with that. And that's one of the things that you really encouraged me to do as well. And that's another thing with even now with the boot camp, all the tech classes. super, super helpful. So
Yeah.
it's a learning process. It's ongoing. I'm going to be a learner. You're stuck with me.
Oh,
I still have one-to-one coaching calls
we
that I'm
do.
hoarding. I'm hoarding it
Oh
in case
no. You're
for when I
hoarding.
really, really need it.
Oh my God. I don't mind being stuck with you. I think you're such a
Yeah,
valued
because
member of the
even after the
community.
90 days was up, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to buy a couple more calls.
Yeah.
And I've used a couple of them, but I have one that I'm,
And you're still in the community too, which is great. And
yeah,
that's what I love about the community is that it's a combination between people that are just joining the boot camp and then people that have been with me for years. I have people that are in the boot camp community because there's like an alumni program that goes along with it afterwards, which you know. But I've had people that literally like I launched my boot camp January of 2018. So for
oh
me, it's
wow,
yeah, it was like
January is
end
a
of
good month.
yeah, it was end of January. So 18, 19, 20, 22. God, I can't believe it's been 5 years. Oh my gosh. So like in a few weeks
Congratulations.
it'll be a 5 year. Yeah. Yeah. Cause you know what? My second daughter was only like 3 or 4 months when I launched it. I remember. And so I still have people crazy 5 years that literally were in that first boot camp that are still in the Facebook group and the community and the bootcamp alumni group now. So that was like my vision is I wanted people, women of all different backgrounds and ages and experiences and YouTube experiences. I have people on in the bootcamp group that have been on YouTube for 10 plus years. And then I have people that are just
Yeah.
getting started. It's like a mix, but it's really nice because I think everybody brings something to the table. It's like I love getting all the feedback and seeing what everybody has to contribute in the group and in the calls. It makes it really fun.
It is really fun. I love it. I'll be a I'm a lifetimer.
That's okay. I love that too. For you, Tamara, because you had the experience of the boot camp first and then the coaching, what was your biggest, let's start with like the boot camp. What was your biggest breakthrough that you had when you were going through the boot camp?
Oh my gosh, breakthrough. Um, it was just such an evolutionary process, taking it step by step, week by week. I can't pinpoint a specific breakthrough. I think it really energized me
Hmm.
and it really inspired me. And I do think probably it was the first time I really, really, really understood the importance of thumbnails. And I will also say, really honing in on my true fan.
Hmm.
Who is my true fan? I mean, I sort of knew, but by really, really honing in on exactly who she was, how old she was, what are her interests, I felt like I was able to come up with content that got more views.
Yeah, definitely. And then what about with the one-on-one coaching? Was it about the same kind of breakthroughs or did you have any other kind of
With the one-on-one coaching, I feel like it was more strategically planning out my content a month ahead. And then, of course, getting feedback from you on each and every video. So building, the feedback, you need more B-roll, how to increase my view time, my percentage of video viewed, looking at more strategically analytics. I think with the one-to-one coaching is the first time I really understood analytics. I mean, in the boot camp, we learned a little bit about it, but it was still a little bit gray to me. But by you and I sitting down and really looking at, well, this video did really well, here's why, and then trying to utilize that information to plan future content.
Yeah, and I feel that with the 101 we really dive into the analytics. I mean, we do in the boot camp, but like yeah, I'm not like sitting there holding your hand on that. I mean, people ask
Yeah,
a lot of
I
questions
needed the
about
hand holding.
yeah, people ask a lot of questions about it we do it in the calls. We share I
Oh, for
share my
sure.
screen and we'll do that. But because in the coaching I provide a report every week of me analyzing the analytics. And I do that on purpose because I feel like that's where like people really will learn that back end analytics. And
Yeah.
I feel like in a way like people like to like poop on YouTube like, oh, the algorithm, this and that or whatever. But one thing that I love about YouTube that it does is that it provides your creators with such a wealth of knowledge in those analytics and data. But I think because it's so much, it's overwhelming to people and they don't know where to start. Like it is a lot of numbers, a lot of data, and there's so many different things you could do in that data. I just feel like people, it's just overwhelming. But when you can really harness the power of understanding that data and coupling that and using that to make decisions on your channel, that's where I think people really start to take off.
Yeah. Yeah. Very helpful.
Yeah.
Very helpful. Although I will say I try not to get overly wrapped up.
Yeah. And that's the other thing too, is that there's this fine line between like having an awareness of the analytics, checking them periodically, but then obsessing over it. And you don't want to get to the obsessing part because then it kind of takes away a little bit of the creativity. So I think that's where people like me, because they like having me there, because I'll be the one to like go through the analytics and I'll tell you, okay, well, let's try this or try that, right? And you don't have to be like obsessing over it. But with anything with YouTube, there's a fine line. There's so many different. There's just so much to it, you know.
So much.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah.
We're always learning. Always learning.
Yeah. So for you, what was it like getting that one-on-one attention through the coaching?
Well, it was fantastic. First of all, I loved our calls. It was like I said, helped me plan, helped me strategize, helped me understand why one video did well and another didn't. We planned videos out a month in advance, but yet I also had a little bit of flexibility. Like I threw that garden tour video in there unexpectedly. So, you take what you can, you take the information you can, and then I just used it in my own way on my own channel. I think it was a monthly call, a weekly video report. You were available by text all the time, and I used that a lot.
Yeah.
What do you think of this thumbnail? What about this title? I think I almost got overly dependent on that.
It's okay. I mean, the thing is, like, you're able to learn and kind of see how I process things too, and get feedback, because you would make changes and I'd be like, oh no, don't do that. And the idea is that you're constantly learning.
Having you available by text and phone call during that entire 90 days was a lifeline.
Oh, good.
That I didn't want to give up.
Yeah, I know. But you're still part of the group, which is good. What did it look like when your channel started to like take off with those viral videos for you? Like, and then also what if anything changed in your mind?
When my videos started going viral, I almost got anxiety over it.
Oh.
In a strange way. I mean, it was exciting to see the views and the new subscribers. But it also sort of ramped up the sense of exposure, in the sense of, I really have to make sure I'm delivering really good quality content.
Yeah.
Like a bigger response.
Like more people are seeing you.
A larger sense of responsibility, a larger sense of, I have to get this right. There's a lot of people out there watching. So I had to sort of get over that initial anxiety because it's like, oh my gosh, it really sort of, it shocked me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's shocking when you have a video that is getting so many views and so many subscribers. But I got used to it. And now, and I'd love another one.
Yeah. Well, you had several while we were working together.
I did. During our 90-day one-to-one coaching, I had 4 videos that did, I think, over 100,000.
Yeah.
Well over 100,000. A concealer video, which you very much, helped me plan. The garden video, which I went a little bit off topic on that, but you did encourage people to explore.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of like there's so many nuances. That's why I love like working with people so closely in the bootcamp and with the one-on-one, because there's a lot of best practices with YouTube, but at the same time, I'm a big believer of throwing rules out the window too, because magic can really happen when you're not necessarily going through all the best practices and you're truly being authentic to your own creativity and intuition. And I'm such a big believer as a creative, as YouTube creatives, and as women, that we need to tap into that intuition for success on YouTube, because that's sometimes where like really cool ideas come from. And so I always tell people, it's like, if you have some kind of like inkling in you or calling to create a video about this, even though it's not your niche, I still want you to do it, because there's something in you that wants to share this with the world. And that in and of itself will give you a certain charisma and presence, or there's something about that video that...
And connection.
And connection.
And connection. I think it's a really great way. Because I know when I posted the gardening video, we had planned, I can't even remember what we had planned, but it was summer, it was beautiful. I just didn't want to sit down at my desk and put makeup on.
Yeah.
So I just walked around the garden, and you were very supportive of that, you know, even though I went off plan, like you said, you were very supportive of the instinct and the creativity, and it did really well. And it was really fun. And like you said, it's a great way to connect with people and show a little bit more of your personal
who you
side.
are, like multidimensional. Yeah. And that's what I find too, like with so many channels and niches. Like I'm a huge proponent for finding a niche and getting really specific, but at the same time, I think it is important to show sides of you that are multidimensional, that are beyond that niche. You know, you're more than just your beauty and skincare. And, you know, for everybody watching, you're more than like that specific niche. So sometimes I think the timing has to be right too. I think I think at the beginning you want to get really specific, but I think once you've built some type of loyalty and audience like you had at that point, it's a really good idea to do that, because then people really will, like you said, the connection, they'll be like, oh my God, I love gardening too, or oh my God, I didn't know that. Wow, that's so cool. And there's that extra dimension that now people feel like they know you even better. And so when you go back to your skincare videos, there's like a deeper community and connection there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely found that to be true. And then the other video that really hit big, that you helped me, not only with the title, the concept planning, the title of the thumbnail, was my facelifting video. And that hit really big. And that's still, it's got close to 300,000 views.
Oh,
so,
nice.
You know, we really, we did really well during our coaching, or I should say, I did well with with your coach.
Yeah, you did great. I love it. You're still doing great. That's really cool though. And so then, okay, that was really interesting how you said that you were a little bit scared. I think a lot of people are scared when they go viral right at the beginning. Has that kind of gone away for you now?
Yes, it has. You know, I feel like I'm not as emotionally connected to
the outcome,
the ups and downs of subscribers. I'm more interested in the views. And of course, a viral video is about the views. But now, if a video is getting really great views, I get super, super excited. And but if it's not getting great views, you know, I'm trying to just not be overly attached to the outcomes. And that's a tightrope also.
It's tough. Yeah, because you don't want that to like paralyze you sometimes.
Right.
But at the same time, there's a lot of joy and satisfaction in seeing your work being appreciated. You know, and that goes with the views and the subscribers. And it definitely 100% is discouraging when you're doing all this work and if something doesn't perform, but you can't get attached to the outcome. So it's a balance.
It is a balance.
It's like a game. It's a dance. Yeah.
But I think I definitely have matured enough in my channel that when I do have a video that does really, really well, or if and when I have another viral video, I will welcome it with open arms, and I will not feel that sense of anxiety, because I don't know. I guess it's just maturing as a creator. Yeah,
doing it continuously, it's almost like it's your job at this point. Versus like it was kind of at the beginning for a lot of people, it becomes this like, all right, let's see what happens, and it's almost like a hobby, but even like a test in a way, like let's just see, and then it does eventually transform into your part, like a big part of your life, and then a career. And I think there's different emotions involved in each of those phases.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, what would you say is your biggest piece of advice for someone who wants to succeed on YouTube?
I would say commitment and consistency, and always learning, always exploring, always learning. I mean, I will be learning for the rest of my life. This is a never ending topic. It's a never ending journey. And, but it really does take commitment, consistency, and a lot of hard work, and a lot of just keep going. Don't allow yourself to get, try not to get too discouraged. Just stick with it.
Yeah, and I love for you how you definitely, and you've mentioned this before, because I think one of the things I was trying to get you to do, and it's like, but if you don't want to, you don't have to, is, doing 2 videos a week, right? While you're working, you're like, I can't do 2 videos a week. I could do one. It's like, okay, great. But you were super consistent with that 1 video a week. You really made it count. And then you're like, well, when I retire, I'm going to do 2 videos a week. And then, and I think you said one time, you're like, well, I realized I like being retired too much. So I still don't want to do 2 videos a week. I'm like, but what's great about YouTube is like, you're able to do that. You could do the 1 video a week. Would you grow more or faster at 2? Yeah, you're doing twice the amount of content, but you still have a really great channel and community and income with just 1 video a week. And you're in a stage of your life that you want to enjoy your retirement. And this kind of lends itself nicely. So you have a level of control over what you want to do.
One of the reasons I retired is so that I could have more balance in my life and enjoy, just enjoy my hobbies, my friends, my families. And I already do spend a lot of time on YouTube, 25, 30 hours a week. And that's just 1 video a week. Yeah. Because there's so much more than just creating videos. There's so much more. I'm always learning. I'm involved with the boot camp, just answering emails and comments. Comments. I've really had to limit. I still answer comments, but once it's been up for a day or 2, I have to let it go. I was spending so much time answering comments. I still do. I value them, and I want to always encourage comments. But anyway, where am I going with this? So for a long time, I thought, okay, when I retired, I thought, oh yeah, I'm going to do 3 videos a week, 2 videos a week. Yeah. But I just found myself enjoying my life so much. I think I'm a once a week gal. I think I just have to accept that. And yeah, maybe I could have twice as many views and subscribers if I did twice a week. But
that's not the season in your life where you're at right now.
That is not the season in my life.
Yeah, and I love that. I remember you're like, I just enjoy retirement too much. I'm not going to do 2. I'm like, well, there you go. That's the beauty of YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. Not to say I won't throw an extra video out there here and there.
We tried. I remember there was a few weeks where you did try doing the 2 a week, and you're like, oh, this is too much for me. I remember you're like, I don't know if I like this.
I admire people. I mean, there are so many people who just make it look so easy, and they do 2, 3 videos a week. Or my gosh, Vlogmas? Are you kidding me?
I know. That's a lot. That's a lot.
That's just not who I am.
Yeah. And then, you do everything yourself. You do all your own editing, you do everything. And so a lot of people, once they get to that point of doing 2 videos a week or even 3 videos a week, or it's more of a full-time thing, they hire help. I mean, I think you almost have to. But like for you, it's like this is an enjoyable, and I think too, at 63, and as you're not stopping anytime soon, as you continue to get older, it's really, I think, really cool to be able to have something to do in a way. I think it keeps you like younger and your mind sharp, and I think that's so important.
Absolutely. I have a friend who's about to retire in the next year or 2, and she's going, what am I going to do with my time? Well, this is my gig. This is my retirement gig. This is my passion. This is my fun. This is my job. It's perfect. It's perfect. And I plan to do it for as long as possible. Yeah. It's very sustainable to me at this level. I think if I had done twice a week,
you might have burnt out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, once a week is my happy place, and it is
Good.
very sustainable. And this is just my really nice balanced retirement life.
Yeah, I think that's so cool. So, what would you tell somebody who's on the fence or they're thinking about joining or enrolling in the boot camp or YouTube one-on-one coaching?
Well, I've already brought a few people to boot camp. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's just do it. I've had people a couple of years ago, what's happening with your channel? Well, you're getting a lot of views and subscribers. And I'm like, well, Erika Vieira's boot camp. I mean, I recommend it to everybody. If you really are wanting to understand YouTube for women, for yourself, in a great community, step-by-step guidance, I 100% highly recommend it for anybody who really wants to understand and grow their channel.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, I'm so glad that you found me when you did. I didn't realize it was through Angelica, but yeah, that's super cool. And just been such a pleasure getting to know you and seeing your success. I mean, I think it's so cool to me that you're able to retire early. Like, when were you originally planning on retiring? Like, how many years did that kind of shave off of working in the corporate gig you're at?
Um, I was thinking 67.
Oh, wow.
And then I thought, well, maybe 65.
Mm-hmm.
And as the pandemic hit, I was in healthcare. Oh my gosh, it
Oh,
just got
man.
crazier and
I
crazier.
know.
When I retired, it wasn't really planned exactly. It was more like I can't do it anymore. And
Mm-hmm.
I hope YouTube can help me bridge the gap.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a year since I did retire. I'm okay. I mean, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm not rich, but it has enabled me to bridge the gap.
Yeah. It gave you
And
an option.
it gave me an option.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I would not have been able to retire without YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, and how old were you when you retired? With 30, I mean 30, 62 or
62.
yeah.
62.
Yeah. So even if it bought you 3 years or 5 years from working,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah. It definitely, YouTube has changed my life
Yeah. That's
for the
awesome.
positive. And I I I just get so much joy out of it and so much fun. I mean, yes, there's stresses and anxieties, but it's such a great community, not only my channel's community, but the boot camp community and community in some of my friends' channels. It's just fun. It's a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
I agree. I pinch myself every day that this is I get to talk to people like you all day long and help you with your channels because to me
Yes.
it's a dream career. I'm on the other side of it, more like helping people and strategy, which I love, and just talking to people all day long. Like I
Right.
love that. But it's such a cool industry to be a part of. I mean, it's so cool. I love it. I love it too. So Tamara, thank you so much for coming on to the show and sharing a little bit about your journey on YouTube and the boot camp with coaching and your retirement, journey. I think that's so cool. For people that are not familiar with you and your channel, where can they find you?
Well, YouTube, Tamara's Timeless Beauty. I do have an Instagram account, Tamara's Timeless Beauty. Not super active there. Primarily YouTube. A
Yeah.
little bit on Instagram.
Yeah. All right, Tamara. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been really fun to have this chat.
Bye.
Bye.